Did you know that every single bit of energy that existed at the moment of the Big Bang is still here today, just wearing a different disguise? It's one of the most profound truths in all of physics. Energy can never be created or destroyed, it can only change forms. And once you understand this principle, you'll start seeing the invisible threads connecting everything in our universe, from the light of distant stars to the warmth of your morning coffee. This idea is called the law of conservation of energy, and it's not just some abstract theory. It's the fundamental rule book that governs every single process in the cosmos. Let me show you what I mean. Think about a simple bouncing ball. You lift it 3 feet off the ground. In that moment, you've given it what physicists call potential energy. The higher you lift it, the more potential energy it has. Now let it go. As it falls, that potential energy transforms into kinetic energy, the energy of motion. The ball speeds up as it drops. Right before impact, nearly all that potential energy has become kinetic energy. Then it hits the ground. Where did the energy go? Here's where it gets interesting. The energy didn't vanish. Some of it bounced the ball back up, converting back into potential energy. But you'll notice the ball doesn't quite reach the same height it started from. That's because some of the energy transformed into heat and sound. The impact warmed up the ball in the floor by a microscopic amount and created those bouncing sounds you heard. Every last bit of energy is accounted for. It just scattered into different forms. This same principle applies to absolutely everything. When you eat breakfast, you're not creating energy. You're taking chemical energy stored in your food and converting it into kinetic energy to move your muscles, thermal energy to maintain your body temperature, and electrical energy to fire neurons in your brain. Your body is just an energy transformation machine. Consider a car engine. Gasoline contains chemical energy locked in the bonds between carbon and hydrogen atoms. When the engine burns that fuel, it's breaking those bonds and releasing that stored energy. About 30% becomes kinetic energy that moves the car forward. But here's the thing. The other 70% doesn't disappear. It becomes heat. That's why engines need cooling systems. The energy is conserved, even if it's not all doing the work you want it to do. Did you know that leaving a like and subscribing to the channel really helps us out? Let's zoom out to something bigger. The sun. Every second, the sun converts about 700 million tons of hydrogen into helium through nuclear fusion. In this process, a tiny bit of mass transforms into pure energy, following Einstein's famous equation. That energy radiates outward as light and heat. 8 minutes later, some of it reaches Earth. Plants capture that light energy through photosynthesis and convert it into chemical energy stored in sugars. Animals eat the plants and convert that chemical energy into movement, heat, and all the processes of life. When living things die and decompose, or when ancient plants become coal and oil over millions of years, that energy gets stored again. We dig up that coal, burn it, and the energy becomes electricity, light, and heat once more. See the pattern? The same energy just keeps changing costumes. The warmth you feel from sunlight striking your skin began as nuclear fusion in the sun's core. The energy making your heart beat right now might have once been starlight absorbed by a plant that became part of your lunch salad. It's all connected in an unbroken chain of transformation. But here's a question that might be bothering you. If energy can't be destroyed, why do we worry about running out of energy? Great question. The issue isn't the total amount of energy. The issue is useful energy. This brings us to another crucial concept: entropy. While energy is always conserved, it tends to spread out and become less organized over time. When you burn gasoline, the concentrated chemical energy disperses as heat, exhaust gases, and motion. You can't gather all that dispersed heat back together and turn it into gasoline again. The energy still exists, but it's now scattered and mixed up, making it much harder to use for any practical purpose. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a box with 100 marbles, 50 red on one side, 50 blue on the other. That's organized. Now, shake the box. The marbles mix liberally together. The same 100 marbles exist, but now they're jumbled. Getting them back to the original organized state would require effort, meaning you'd have to put more energy in. That's entropy. Energy becomes less useful as it disperses, even though the total amount never changes. This is why we can't build a perpetual motion machine, even though energy is conserved. Every time energy transforms, some of it scatters as waste heat. Eventually, everything tends toward thermal equilibrium, where energy is spread evenly and no further useful work can be done. The universe isn't running out of energy, it's running out of useful, concentrated energy gradients. Let's bring this back to something tangible. When you charge your phone, electrical energy flows from the power grid into the battery, where it's stored as chemical energy. When you use your phone, that chemical energy converts back to electrical energy, which becomes light from your screen, sound from your speaker, and heat that you can feel if you use it long enough. Even the radio waves transmitting your calls and messages are energy. Nothing is lost. Everything is accounted for. Even on cosmic scales, this holds true. Black holes don't destroy energy, they trap it, transforming it in ways we're still trying to fully understand. When stars explode as supernovas, they release enormous amounts of energy that was built up over billions of years of fusion, scattering elements across space that will eventually form new stars, planets, and maybe even life. So here's the profound truth. You are made of recycled stardust, animated by recycled energy that's been flowing and transforming since the beginning of time. The energy in your body has been part of countless other things before you and will be part of countless things after you. You're not a static object, you're a temporary pattern, a beautiful arrangement of matter and energy that will eventually rearrange itself into new forms. The universe is essentially running on the same tank of energy it started with. Nothing new, nothing lost, just an endless cosmic dance of transformation. And every time you flip a light switch, take a step, or even think a thought, you're participating in that ancient, ongoing performance.